robot side. It's on robots for the Pro Tour as well. So.
Not on robots today. He's on Augur of Bolas dot deck.
Yeah, he's on blue-white, red flash.
Yeah, it looks like it's very similar build to what we saw earlier, where he's just splashing red for Pillar of Flame. It's essentially blue-white flash just with Pillar.
Both decks are blue-white-red. You have the flash deck versus the mid-range deck. Yeah. They're pretty similar here. The difference is going to this is pretty much a mirror match. There's Thundermaw Hellkites on Rusty's side, and he has a little less instant speed action. So Henry has Hellkites, Majlaton has Pikes. I think that puts it firmly in Majlaton's favor.
So both players leading on a dual land, Majlaton with a buddy land and Rusty with a shock land.
Yeah, both players' mana bases in this matchup should have plenty of time to develop their mana bases. Of note, Majlaton has one Moorland Haunt. Rusty Henry is playing no Moorland Haunts. So that's another slight edge there for Majlaton. Both players was Augur Bolas finds Think Twice from Majlaton. That's going to be a good card advantage engine, just going to set up some incremental advantage. Majlaton has 2 Runechanter's Pikes, and I think that's one of the most important cards in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to give him the fast win if he can land it, and you know, we've seen that card just kind of...
It's not even the fast win, it's the eventual win. You know?
Sure, I think it can be both.
Sure, he needs to make sure it resolves, and that's the spell that they're going to want to fight over.
So Alex on the beatdown with Augur of Bolas plan for the moment.
Now, neither player has a Cavern of Souls in their 75. That's another, in this mirror match, is another pretty relevant card.
I like that. I think that's how standard ought to be. Get rid of Cavern of Souls. I don't like uncounterable
like blue mage.
Gavin Verhey tweeted, if you could weaken any card in standard, what would what card would it be and what would you do to it? And I was like, Cavern, make it cost 1 to get the uncounterable clause.
So
gosh. That's
silly.
I mean,
it's not like, because seriously, as we can tell from today, the blue decks are just being kept down.
That is the biggest counterpoint to my argument, but it's just I don't like it. Because blue decks are obviously bad right now, right? And Steam Vents for Rusty, and pass. So looks like Alex prepping for an end of turn flashback Think Twice, and that's what he does. I'm really liking the looks of these flash decks splashing the red for Pillar. He does have 1 copy of Unsummoned. We've seen, I think the Unsummons were cut from the previous list we had seen that was running Pillar. Yeah. Snapcaster Mage from Alex.
So, like I said, because of how the matchup is set up, and you're looking at what each player is going to try to do, neither of them has like a lot of the trumps here missing. Like I was saying, Cavern of Souls is a pretty big trump in the matchup. Alex has 3 trumps. His trumps are the 1 Moorland Haunt and the 2 Runechanter's Pikes. And other than that, what they're going to want to continue to do is they're going to want to keep hitting land drops. That's going to be pretty relevant here. They cannot let the other one resolve a Sphinx's Revelation, is the other half of the puzzle.
So we see a Supreme Verdict there from Rusty, takes out Alex's Snapcaster and Augur. Right. Alex was just going on the beatdown plan. I think that was just a naked Snapcaster.
Right, and you know, that's fine. Well, maybe not playing Snapcaster. So Alex is being a little... I would be greedier with my creatures here. The thing is, like, that sweeper doesn't matter so much, in that that's not where this fight is actually at. It's over these... For Rusty, that's where the fight is. Rusty wants to resolve one of these things, so that's how he has to win. Remember, the fight is actually over, and like this is going to be the fight. Like Alex right here, I think, he would sweep out and rev for 4.
Sure, yeah, and it looks like so Alex end of turn Restoration Angel hits eats an Azorius Charm from Rusty when it attacks, and now Alex able to resolve whatever he wants.
The reason he wouldn't rev for 4 is because he's worried that Rusty might do it back to him.
Right.
But I think he's going to do it anyway. And that's good. And if you feel like you are, I don't know, he's calling Rusty saying, show me the Revelation. Because Alex has so much counter magic in his hand, that's a little greedier than it needs to be, but still pretty good. He's going to discard the Steam Vents.
Right, passes back.
Right, so remember, that's part of the game is you can't let those resolve. It's going to give Rusty a chance to get a dragon in. But once again, for Rusty, that is what the fight is about, is resolving and protecting these threats. For Alex, it's more about staying alive. He has cards that once they hit the board are totally unanswerable. And we're going to see that, I think, play out in what Rune Chanter's Pike's going to do for Majlaton here.
Yeah, we see he does have a Pike in hand. He does have an Angel in hand.
Right, and it's so good here.
Thundermine Hellkite from Rusty comes into play tapped.
So likely what we'll see from Majlaton is Pike go, then Charm the Dragon, then probably even not make End Step Angel. Wait until he has Dissipate to make End Step Angel with Angel plus Dissipate. Just like really play it slow.
And he does have both of those cards in hand, I believe. He does have a Dissipate.
That's how I would try to play this out. Is just Pike is so good here. Pike Haunt is almost unbeatable. Game 1 at least. So once he finds the Haunt, it's just like it's disgustingly good.
Yeah, we may very well see that. So looks like he's on the same line of play as you suggested. He plays Pike, says go. Rusty untaps his Hellkite. Hellkite coming in, and it's going to appear to get charmed here.
Yeah. Alex, remember, Alex has all the time in the world. He has the card that Rusty can't beat in play. So he just has to protect his own life. His own life total is what he has to protect.
Is he a Dissipate for the charm? So does Alex want to fight over that, or I don't think he does. He only has one counterspell, right?
He cannot fight over it because then he can untap and just verdict it.
He is going to fight over it.
He is going to fight over it.
Dissipate back.
I probably wouldn't tap because I would say verdict is fine.
He's a pretty healthy life total.
Yeah.
Taking a hit isn't that big of a deal, and there you see Restoration Angel comes in and blinks the Hellkite, but it does save him 5 damage, and now he's going to verdict next turn. He's going to get 2 guys. What do you think?
So, I mean, it's great. Alex, it's fine. It's the same line of play that if Alex had dissipated the Angel.
Sure. Yeah, it's
actually the same. It's the same thing. So, as long as that's happened, I guess that's not how I would have wanted to have spent my Dissipate, is dissipating the Angel, because I had my own Angel, I wouldn't really care. But all in all, not that bad. Alex is at 19 and has a Pike. He's got to be really happy.
Yeah, and he does indeed use Supreme Verdict to clear the board of the Angel and the Thundermaw Hellkite. Passes back to Rusty.
I believe Majlaton has a Think Twice still in his yard as well.
He definitely flashed one back, so unless he's played a second one.
Yeah, what we'll probably see is like...
It does look like or is that, it looks like Augur, Snapcaster, Sphinx's Revelation, Steam Vents, Azorius Charm, Dissipate, Supreme Verdict. So I don't see a Think Twice there.
Well, his first Augur found a Think Twice. Maybe he's already used it twice.
He definitely flashed one back at the end of
so Alex
an early
is not
turn.
end-step Snapcastering because he just doesn't have to. Like, his Snapcaster and Angel are so good together, he wants to wait until he has a counterspell before doing anything, because I think he just feels like he doesn't need to do, Okay, so he's going to go for this Snapcaster then.
Is he going to cycle an Azorius Charm here?
He might even go for a Revelation.
Oh, yeah, never mind. I forgot he had the Revelation there, yeah. So, and it appears to be resolving.
If this works, that this is game.
That is sick.
Yeah, Snapcaster Revelation for 5, that's 6. That's like the nail in the coffin right here.
Yeah, Alex has some lands up top that we couldn't see, so it was for 5. You see the Snapcaster.
I mean, Alex, the current Revelation score is 2-0 in Majlaton's favor, and on top of that, he has these trump cards.
Searing Spear takes out the Snapcaster. Alex shrugs and untaps.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's a card. Okay, sure. Yeah. Trade card for cards. This game is pretty much over.
You see, Rusty's hand is Snapcaster Pillar, I think.
Alex hasn't drawn his Haunt yet, fortunately for Henry.
Yeah, that's one thing that is, quote unquote, keeping him in the game. But I don't know. Double Sphinx's Revelation is pretty tough to beat. A single one's pretty tough to beat. So Alex with a packed hand and Pike on board has resolved every significant spell so far. Passes back to Rusty. Rusty passes back, I believe, and we have end step Restoration Angel from Alex.
Yep.
And Alex, I think, is going aggro.
Sure.
Equip my Angel.
Yeah.
Swing, and that's going to be a pretty big Pike, too.
Yep, it's a 2-turn clock.
All right. Rusty has Snapcaster.
That's fine. Yep.
Snapcaster resolves.
All Alex has to make sure that happens here is he can't let Rusty resolve a Revelation. As long as that happens, there's probably no way Rusty can win.
So Rusty flashes back Azorius Charm, puts the Angel back on top of Alex's library, and Alex burns away the Snapcaster, passes back.
Alex does not actually have a counter spell yet. So
Yeah, he used his one Dissipate earlier on Rusty's Dissipate, trying to get rid of a Hellkite, so...
I'm just gonna draw the Angel, play a land, so there you go.
As far as main deck counterspells, he only has... Okay, I was looking at the wrong list. He has just 2 Dissipate... There we go, that'll make more sense. Switch him around. He's got 2 Dissipated Rewind, and that's all his main deck counterspells.
And 3 Snapcaster Magic.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not
Restoration Angel comes back at the end of Rusty's turn.
And second Pike. He can try to win the game right now, if he likes. He probably will.
I'd go for it. Why not? Force your opponent to have it? No, he's just gonna equip.
Maybe he's worried, like the worry. Okay, probably he's going to do is if Rusty's main decking a Detention Sphere, you'll look really silly by doing that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And there's no, like I said, there's no need. If Rusty can't answer the first one, it's game over too.
Win more.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it looks like it connects.
It's those plays where you shrug and be like, yeah, I'll try another one, and then the untaps the Detention Spheres it, and you're like, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
So Rusty has the drawing the Sphinx's Revelation. Snapcast here though. It's fine.
We have Snapcaster Azorius Charm. Again, did he cast 2 Azorius Charms? I guess he did.
And another Sphinx Revelation. This one appears to be a foil one.
And it's even better. It draws twice as many cards.
It draws good cards.
Oh, that's how it works.
Just more spells. More spells for the Blue Maid. So, for those of you wanting to play current block constructed, this is what it is. Every matchup. It's awful. It's just the worst.
Oh, it was Supreme Verdict. No wonder. Okay, it did look kind of main phasey to me because I knew he had taken a hit from the Azorius or from the Restoration Angel. It was Snapcaster Supreme Verdict to deal with the Restoration Angel last turn. Thank you. The cards are off screen.
So Augur is going to grab an unsummon. Funny enough, unsummon stays in this matchup because of the fact that you can unsummon Augur. You can unsummon your own Augur. Actually, what's interesting is in metagames where there's a bunch of flash mirrors, people have started playing, what is it, the Saving Rescue card out of
Oh yeah, like the one, Dramatic Rescue?
No, it's 1 blue to unsummon your own guy, white flash back, unsummon your own guy.
Oh, okay.
That thing, because it's like just so much more value with your own Augur of Bolas.
Wow, yeah, that's interesting.
If you want to get into more inbred metagames, if there's no zombies in your local metagame, there's no creature decks, you should be playing that instead of unsummon.
So, Augur from Alex and passes back. So, Augur's pretty deadly with that pike too. Alex at 33, and Rusty not able to even get a foothold in this game. He has been on the back foot. He's holding a Sphinx's Revelation and 2 burn spells, Pillar and Searing Spear.
If you're Alex, you just say, okay, just let it die, it's fine.
Yeah, Augur attempts to pick up Pike.
Oh, okay, nice. Why not? We'll go for Angel.
Gets hit with Searing Spear, and Restoration Angel comes down to rescue the Augur, which finds a Pillar for Alex.
Sure.
And Alex says, I'm gonna pillar you. Knock you to 6. And
I think if the options are that and discarding, you'll go with the...
Yeah, I'll go with burn you. Yeah. Seems good. Slow shock.
All right. Remember, Rusty with a Zone Sphinx's Revelation. He can't afford to not try it.
Yeah, and it's going to get countered because we know Alex.
6.
I'm pretty sure Alex has Dissipate. There it is. And that's game. I mean, that's just not. If it wasn't game before, that's.
If you drew another Revelation right now, it wouldn't be game. If you just
sure,
top decked another one.
Okay, that's true.
That's what he has to hope to have happen. I mean, how many decks? There's just one more.
He has one more in the deck.
Sure.
He could Snapcaster it, but did he?
No, it was dissipated.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. He could.
Yeah, no, he's on a 1 out. It didn't hit, but it was there.
But we can't see what he drew. He may have drawn it.
I don't believe he did.
It was Pillar.
So game 1 goes to Alex Majlaton.
And yeah, Rusty unfortunately, he couldn't get into that game at all. It didn't look like he ever had the edge. Even when his spells were resolving, it was just all kind of reactive, nothing impressive. So,
like I said, game 1 focuses on really. There's just there's the 3 trumps in Alex's deck, and then it's the revelation score. The revelation score is the most important part in this match.
And Alex was up 3-1 on that.
Yep. I mean, by the time he's up 2-0, it's pretty much over. So
actually, it wasn't even 3-1; it was 3-0 because he countered Rusty.
Yeah. And that's why being up 2 to even 1-0 is so bad.
Yeah.
Then it gets worse. You know, it's like when you play chess and your opponent takes like, say, your bishop early on. And you're like, this is bad because now since he has a bishop more than me, it's going to get worse. You know, he's going to use his advantage to create more advantage.
It just snowballs.
Yes, so it snowballs really bad. All right, sideboard the game becomes a little more interesting. Kind of. It's cool. So Alex managed. So they both have a. Alex Majlaton has a. We'll go with him first. He has a Curse of Echoes he could hope for, and that's actually not a bad card because Sphinx's Revelation is so important in this matchup that it lets you copy your Sphinx's Revelation.
So, Jesse, are you able to put up cards on the screen for everybody? Because people are like, what one is Curse of Echoes? If you want to. We want to take a look at Curse of Echoes. This is one that I first heard about like a month or two ago with a friend of mine, actually Lloyd Frias. He was 2009 Maryland State champion. He started playing it against control decks, just in his control deck in the board. There you see it, enchantment, curse. It's like a blue and 4
hive-mindish sort of thing.
Yeah, it is. It feels very hive-mindish. Whenever enchanted player casts an instant or sorcery, each other player may copy that spell and may choose new targets for the copy.
It's good against. Well, originally it was good against miracles. Like people had it in the sideboards to try to deal with miracles decks.
Sure, yeah. Like your entreats look silly. Your terminuses.
Yeah. A deck that only wins with entreat the angels. It's pretty funny when you do this against them. Right now, I think Sphinx's Revelation is becoming so important in a lot of these matchups that the card is starting to see a little bit of play. Is it a great card? No, not really. I think in this matchup it comes in though.
Yeah, I mean it's just a one of, and it's a good laugh. So why not?
Yeah, what we will see is we'll see more counterspells. So 2 negates and a dispel, both certain to come in for Majlaton, and probably also a detention sphere.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe, I mean, the detention sphere is a little more negotiable, but the other ones I think do come in. So that's in this matchup, you maybe keep in 1. You can cut down on a Supreme Verdict. They're not that good. Pillar of Flame is the card you'll get rid of. That card's awful here.
Yeah, as we saw, Rusty with a hand packed full of them, and couldn't do anything.
It's interesting. You have to play a guessing game with your opponent onto whether or not they have Cavern of Souls in their 75. Neither of these players don't know it, but the other guy doesn't. So then that sideboarding, all your counter spells remain live.
Yeah, and what's interesting, just looking at comparing sideboards, excuse me, Alex's detention sphere may be really important because if he doesn't counter a Curse of Echoes on the way down, because Rusty has Curse of Echoes as well. Plus he's got Curse of Echoes and another Curse of Echoes. He's got 3 Curse of Echoes.
So that's huge.
So, I mean, I don't imagine he's going to be playing more than 1 at a time. But still, Detention Sphere is one of the only answers to a resolved Curse of Echoes that Alex has. Like, it is the only answer that he has if it resolves.
So what Rusty would do is he has 2 negates, 3 Curse of Echoes. He needs to bring in some Detention Spheres because he can't let Runechanter's Pike beat him. He also has a Niv Mizzet Draco Genius in his sideboard. I don't think you can do that because you aren't playing Cavern. If you were playing Cavern, the card would be stone amazing. But unfortunately,
it just gets countered.
It's going to get countered. Because it would be like, I mean, if you had a Cavern, it would be like if you have Sphinx's Revelation that just keeps revelationing.
Yeah. Dragon's Revelation? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, because like when you look at the sideboards, you look at 3 Curse of Echoes, you look at 1 Niv Mizzet. Rusty could potentially just put in a ton of cards that are kind of must counters. Like Alex has to counter Curse of Echoes if he doesn't have a Detention Sphere. He has to counter Sphinx's Revelation. He pretty much has to counter Niv Mizzet. you know.
So in a sense, Rusty can try to overload Alex's counter spells. There is a little still, remember, this game, the focus of the game doesn't change post-board. It's still a Sphinx's Revelation fight, and the danger about trapping up for Cursive Echoes is that I say, okay, with your Cursive Echoes on the stack, Sphinx's Revelation.
Yeah.
And if I can do, Sphinx's Revelation for 4, okay, untap, sure it resolves, I untap, and then I Detention Sphere your Cursive Echoes go. And you're like, wow, that really didn't work.
Well, that would definitely be a shame. Right, the funny thing is it actually is more likely to happen to Alex than for Alex, you know what I mean? Because he's got 1 Detention Sphere and 1 Cursive Echoes, where Rusty has 3 Cursive Echoes and 2 Detention Spheres in the board. So he's got more answers to opposing
Interesting
Cursive
enough, Rusty
Echoes
also
as
has an Oblivion Ring.
Oh yeah, I didn't even
Which I thought was weird
that.
when Detention Spheres in the format. To me, what that tells me is maybe he's trying to Oblivion Ring other Detention Spheres.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
That's the only reason to do that right now. So it's still a lot of a chess game. Really, in this matchup, a card that would be great would be Jataxian Probe or Peak if it was around. Not kidding. It would
no,
really
I'm agreeing with you. That's why I'm laughing. It actually would be really good.
It'd be really good in this matchup, but of course it's not around. So
Ali and Chazi 3-0. Ali, are you playing Door? Okay. I'll let you guys know whether or not he said yes or no later on.
So, turn 1, Halifax role player Majlaton, clearly showing me as a Thought Scour. He put it into play untapped. And both players kept hands that are a little more land-light than I would have kept.
Yeah, it looks like Rusty's out of lands, and
I don't think Majlaton has many more either. I think he also is on 2.
Augur for Rusty on turn 2. Finds nothing, it looks like. We didn't see what he saw, but it looks like he whiffed.
Yep.
Thought Scour for Alex dumps 2 lands in the graveyard, and that could be real relevant if he's as land light as we suspect.
He has 2 more.
Okay, that's not too bad.
All right, Battle of the 1/3s will commence. Will Majlaton's draw a card?
He finds Dissipate. He had a choice of Azorius Charm there.
Clone.
And he did bring in Clone. Interesting choice, I guess.
Yeah, it's more Augurs, it's more Snapcasters. Certainly it's no Phantasmal Image, but...
No, but there is no Phantasmal Image in the format, so it's the best Phantasmal Image in the format.
So yeah, it looks like at least 1 more land for... Rusty has at least 1 more land.
He has a Plains, I think, there, yeah.
He's down a few cards right now, so he's got to be a little careful. He needs to find a way to get back up on cards. Cards will equal lands, which will equal winning the counter spell roll, and that's the important part.
Draws Azorius Charm there. Alex had just played a land and passed. Rusty does the same.
Yeah, and with the Snapcaster on the stack, Rusty would do well to play his Angel. Right now, while he's tapped out, I would lay down the Angel.
Rusty did not do that, yeah.
He's worried. I know he doesn't want to do it because he wants to hold up Dissipate, but I'm not sure what it is that he wants to dissipate here.
Right, because I'm fine if my opponent resolves the Sphinx's Revelation for 1 or 2.
There's no Hero of Blade hold in the format.
Yeah,
your opponent's not gonna be like.
Yeah, if you're gonna leave yourself vulnerable to a Sphinx's Revelation, when your opponent has 4 or 5 lands, is the time to do it.
Well, it looks like that's gonna happen, and I guess so. Alex actually still lets it resolve. Alex does have the Pike in hand, so Alex now knows where his fight is at. Alex is not fighting over Revelation. He's going to wait for 5 mana and try to Pike with Dissipate up, which I think is wise.
Yeah, it's possible that Rusty was kind of maybe playing around Cursive Echoes himself, just thinking, I have it, he might have it. If he hits 5 lands and resolves Cursive Echoes.
Rusty has a new game plan. Rusty has the Niv Mizzet Draco Genius in his hand.
Ah, he does.
So both players on a little, Alex hits Think twice off the Restoration Angel. Remember, Rusty missed his 5th land. That's pretty big.
I believe so did Alex.
Alex has plenty more lands. So
now he's hit his 5th land, but I'm pretty sure...
And a 6th to boot, so...
So in play right now, on Alex's side, Restoration Angel, Snapcaster Mage, Augur of Bolus. On Rusty's side, very similar.
And I'd say no time like the present to try to get a Pike down. If I'm Majlaton, I don't know if I want to actually start racing with Restoration Angel. He's going to do that.
Yeah, Rusty has an Angel and an Augur Bolus of his own. His Angel had attacked Alex down to
the end step Thought Scour probably should have been a main phase Thought Scour. If you're digging for a land, remember, not all instants have to be played on end step.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of them want to be. That's not saying it's always bad, but...
He found a Steam Vents there. Either off of the Thought Scour or
I would have probably also, maybe Azorius Charmed in addition. If your game plan is Niv Mizzet, your game plan should be Niv Mizzet.
Well, Steam Vents come to the play, tapped, passes back. Alex uses Think Twice at the end of turn.
Yeah. Still could be either player's game. I think Alex is ahead here. He's sculpted his hand a little more. He has more instants. He's gotten more value, I guess is what I would say.
Yeah, both players with 5 lands. Alex is just up a Snapcaster Mage as far as
and
board
now
goes.
He's got more land Haunt, which is huge. Because if he has Haunt and Pike, that's all he needs to win the game. And he now has both in his hand.
Yes, not only that, he has fuel for Moorland Haunt in the yard. Now, Pike is kind of embarrassing right now. There's nothing. It's
fine.
Blank Pike, but mostly blank.
It's so good here. This can't resolve. If it resolves, it will win the game.
Well, Rusty's going to try to counter it, and he
Alex
does.
Lets it get dissipated. I'm
negated.
I'm surprised by that. Alex clearly has a different plan to victory than I do.
He has a second Pike, might be his other plan.
Oh.
He might be just...
All right.
Yeah.
Fine.
So.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't want, to get Mizzeted here, but not going to happen. Rusty didn't hit the land. Okay, that's right. I didn't see the second Pike. Yeah, then the Alex.
I didn't see it
he's
before
right on
I said
track.
it.
That is correct then. You only need one.
His hand looks like Steam Vents, Moorland Haunt, second Pike, and then at least one counterspell, I believe, in there. He's got a Negate and maybe a Dissipate. I don't know about the Dissipate.
All sorts of spells.
Plenty of spells, yeah, plenty of business. Plays a Mountain. Pike number 2.
And this one has to resolve. It's Alex's only other.
Oh, he goes with Augur. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna build. I think he has enough lands.
Finds Unsummon there. Oh, he's gonna put him on. That was Curse of Echo. I thought it was Unsummon. Wow. He does have a Dissipate though. Okay.
Yeah, I think he realized if his opponent's stuck on lands, he sees no reason to not just play land go for a while. He'll just compound it. If he plays land go, then he can Pike with 2 or 3 counter spells up. And his opponent will be forced to never be able to do, his opponent can't do anything.
So Rusty cycles in Azorius Charm at the end of Alex's turn and draws land. I think he found 2 lands. He found
Yeah, but he can't in good conscience
just tap.
Well, he has a Curse and a Niv Mizzet, but Curse isn't good right now because Alex isn't trying to Sphinx. He's trying to Rev here.
Supreme Verdict seems reasonable.
Yep, it's pretty good. It's
uncounterable, clears the board, cleans things up for us. So now we're...
Remember, it's all... But now Alex now is going to go... He's going to get his Pike down. And he's going to get to play Pike. Play Moorland Haunt. Play Moorland Haunt. Tap something else to make Pike. And then here we'll see... Yep, that...
Yeah, Pike resolves.
And then you'll see Moorland Haunt come down.
Yeah.
And that's...
There it is.
That's the nail in the coffin. Alex has assembled the combo, and I don't think Rusty can beat it.
Now again, I'm pretty sure that Pike is blank right now. I don't think
it is right now. That's okay. It won't be. It won't. Not for long. It's really one of the key cards in the matchup.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just pointing out that it's...
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I might think if I was Rusty right here, I might just slam into a counter spell. I would be interested in smashing my Curse of Echoes into a counter spell. Alright, instant counts at 1, 2. Now Sphinx's Revelation into the yard.
Alex makes a Spirit after using Thought Scour to make that Pike a little more relevant. Draws a Rewind.
Yeah, he got him almost in a hard lock here.
And Spirit picks up Pike. At least attempts to. Rusty has a response. Searing Spear.
Sure. There's plenty more fuel where that came from.
Yeah, and Rusty actually helped the cause by using Supreme Verdict.
Right.
Lots of fuel.
Well, the thing is that the matchup is so long. Like the idea of if you're trying to stop Haunt Pike, you can't actually stop it by rest in peace is what stops it. But you can't stop it by being like, oh, well, I'll get rid of all your, I'll run you out of creatures, or I'll run you out of spells.
Yeah, that's just
like,
not gonna happen.
Those don't happen.
There's Curse of Echoes, so let's see if this resolves.
Absolutely
no.
not.
Negate, says Alex.
Negate
back, says Rusty. And we have a rewind here from Alex. Yes, a rewind. Keeps the Curse of Echoes off the board.
And dumps 2 more instants into the yard.
Yeah, actually just made the Pike bigger. Now, Rusty does have an answer for Pike in Detention Sphere and Oblivion Ring, so he doesn't have those in hand right now, but...
Niv Mizzet actually is also an answer for Pike.
Sure, oh yeah.
Alex does have a 3rd counterspell, unfortunately, but there is... But perhaps if Rusty can bait out that counterspell...
He has a Sphinx's Revelation, yeah. He can essentially resolve...
Interestingly enough, he has to choose which one he'd want to resolve and which one he wouldn't.
Exactly.
It's a close call.
It is.
But the biggest issue is that if he goes with this Majlaton right here, gets to can Revelation back right now.
Yeah, not only that, he could draw into a Supreme Verdict, which he already has, but Rusty doesn't know that. He could also he could deal with this Niv Mizzet as soon as it resolves.
And 4 is the right number. He leaves a Punt and Dissipate, and 3 cards, and it seems to me to be the clear choice.
So he's Revelation for 4, attack with just the 1/1.
Yep, no equip.
Spirit,
There'll be time.
No equip, yeah.
There'll be time later for damage.
Now, yeah, as you mentioned, like if Rusty chooses to bait the Dissipate with Sphinx's Revelation, and then resolve the Niv Mizzet, Niv Mizzet dies to Supreme Verdict.
Well, Rusty can do, he could go for Detention Sphere here too.
Yeah, that will surely.
The problem is that like now he's on the other side where he's losing the Revelation fight, which like that. Like I said, that's still what the game is about at the end.
Well, he's going to go ahead and cast Detention Sphere. Should probably not have chosen its target yet, but...
Yeah, we knew what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Spirit Token.
Alex is going to go ahead and Dissipate. And,
and if you're Rusty, you probably... I don't know. I mean, if you Dissipate back here, you're going to lose to Revelation, but that's okay. Yeah, Dissipate back.
It's a tough call, because you're like, do I want to get rid of the Pike, or do I want to keep him from resolving Revelation again?
Right.
He's already resolved 1. He doesn't know that Alex has another one, but it's, this is...
Well, no, this is good. I mean, Alex is going to have to win the Revelation way now, which I think he's
already winning a Revelation.
He hasn't totally won it yet. It's the next one is going to be the one that gets him. But Alex has a Dissipate and a Dispel.
But I thought he had a second Revelation.
No, it's the Supreme Verdict.
Oh, okay. I knew he had the Verdict. For some reason, I also thought he had Revelation. But yeah, I was thinking he was just going to go ahead and slam another Revelation. My mistake there. So Moorland Haunt activates.
Make a Spirit Army.
Spirit number 2 for Alex.
And playing more cards. He's winning the race, and yeah.
Here we have Restoration Angel from Rusty. Does it resolve? No, Alex has found yet another Dissipate. As you mentioned, he did have it. So, Restoration Angel, dissipated. 2 spirits now getting in, knocking Rusty to 11.
Right. Winning the Revelation fight, Alex just has so many more cards. He has more lands, more everything. And I think he was able to win the Revelation fight because of the Pike.
Augur of Bolas gets in for another 1. And Rusty does have 2. Does he have 2 copies of Sphinx's Revelation in hand? 2 Sphinx's Revelation and a Niv Mizzet, I think. That is a heck of a hand. I think at this point now Rusty just...
And this was the problem when we were talking about Niv Mizzet as a board, and I said, like, because he doesn't have Cavern of Souls, I didn't really... Like, this could happen. And even to a certain degree, Curse of Echoes is this way. Like I said, it would be good on turn 5, but late in the game I wasn't sure I liked Curse of Echoes because you can't actually ever pay it.
And there's Rusty taps out for Sphinx's Revelation. Alex has a Dispel.
Yep.
And Rusty now untaps.
Do you have another Sphinx's Revelation?
You can either, you can go Revelation or you can go Niv Mizzet here.
Hard to say which one. My guess is, it doesn't matter. It's gonna get countered. I mean,
Did
he
you
makes
say
Niv Mizzet.
Niv countered?
It's gonna get well. It's gonna
He doesn't have a counter.
Well, he has a clone for the Niv Mizzet.
Sure,
It's a
Niv
legend.
cloned then.
Right.
It's gonna get Niv cloned. That's actually even worse than the Supreme Verdict that I was counting as the answer. You know.
It's. All right, so he's decided he's going to go for Revelation. Alex will continue merrily making more spirits. And 4 is really enough. You can stop at that. It's a good enough clock. More lands. You don't ever stop playing your lands in this matchup.
Every single one represents another card off of Sphinx's Revelation, or just a better chance of winning counter wars.
Yeah, lands are cool. Lands do really.
Yeah, I like lands.
Do good stuff.
I play a lot of those. And Rusty says, I'll try Sphinx's Revelation again. Does this one resolve? Please, 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 please. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
I think it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. We know it does. Rusty didn't know, though. I was saying the no whammies for him.
This is huge. This is Rusty's way back in the game. I know it's still not good.
He's still not in good shape, but he's in better shape.
Much better shape.
All right.
If he can keep, now remember that was both his Sphinx's Revelations, right? So now he's out. It's only Rusty can only Snapcaster them from here.
Exactly. He's got 8 lands in play. So Sphinx's Revelation off a Snapcaster right now would only be for 3. Now it would be for 4 because he plays a Sulphur Falls. He doesn't even have Snapcaster in hand, I believe. He's got Thought Scour, I think. Thought Scour, Azorius Charm, Augur of Bolus. I think he just played that. Yep.
So really what's left in the deck, Majlaton has 1 Revelation left in his deck and 1 in his yard. Rusty has 2 Revelations in his yard. All of Majlaton's pikes are gone, but they'll just have her Moorland Haunts, like kind of what I was talking about trumps, is in play for Majlaton. Pretty big deal.
Rusty gets in with his unsick Augur of Bolus.
So now we'll start seeing fights over cards like Restoration Angel. You know, Rusty's going to wait for the attack and then try to resto block Majlaton.
Now here's something that Rusty may have brought in that we didn't talk about, which would be great here if he draws it. Is it Staticaster?
That'd be excellent. That'd be a pretty ballsy call. He didn't see Moorland Taunt game 1, and there's none in his own list. Yeah, but if he did it, I mean, when you see pikes, which
you can kind of reasonably assume, but
yeah,
we don't know. We don't know. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'd say I would give him, if he had board and Staticaster for the potential hunt, I'd be giving him props. I'd be like, you know, good job, sir.
So we see a Restoration Angel come down for Rusty, jumps in front of a Spirit, and Alex looks like he's going to cast a clone.
I think it'd be on Augur of Bolus, actually. I would want it to be on Augur of Bolus. Rusty, I think Rusty has gotten back in the game here. Rusty may even be ahead right now.
Clone resolves, targets Augur of Bolus, as you mentioned. And think twice off of the Augur, or the cloned Augur.
Yeah, what Majlaton has to do is just, you know, Majlaton is drawn a little worse right now, so he's going to have to make that Supreme Verdict count a little harder.
Both Augurs
one
coming over,
off.
yeah.
I don't even know if I like that move, because Alex can suicide back now and push in 3 damage. And the Draco Genius is now in play. And there are 4 mana up.
So think twice from Alex.
Plenty of mana. If he finds a counterspell, it's going to happen. If he finds a Restoration Angel, that works too, because he can clone it. He has a Restoration Angel, so he can end step flicker the clone.
Sure.
Restoration Angel the clone, which is what I think will happen. You can't actually let Niv Mizzet survive.
Actually, one of the better answers. There you see Niv Mizzet, because he doesn't necessarily want to verdict away all of his spirits if he doesn't have to. And in this case, he doesn't have to just from drawing that Restoration Angel. There's Niv Mizzet 5/5 for 6 flyer. Whenever it deals damage to a player, you may draw a card, and he can ping for 2.
Whatever's gonna happen, Rusty under no circumstance will be allowed to untap with Niv Mizzet. That is
exactly.
You cannot.
Exactly. So it appears to be resolving.
Yep, it's resolved. And like we said, here comes. So we have to decide where.
Yeah, where this is all happening. Rusty's not even going to go ahead and. I thought he would try using the.
Draw 2 cards.
Yeah, I mean, if the Niv Mizzet was in play, he could either draw 2 cards. He could clear 2 spirits.
I think he values. Does he have a counterspell? He may value his counterspell more than drawing 2 cards.
He does have a dissipate. Yeah.
I think he's really worried about getting Sphinx's Revelations.
Okay, and that might be the right call here. I think.
It's not.
It's not a bad play.
into Azorius Charm. And Rusty would really like to resolve a Curse of Echoes. That'd be pretty sweet for him. Yeah, and this is why I didn't like necessarily. Well, I guess the Swing of Augur Bowls is fine. But not like they could block any of these anyway.
Right.
Moorland Haunt still showing its real strength. So Azorius Charm Spirit.
Yeah, so
Angel
Alex.
Block a Spirit, go to 4.
Yeah, Angel Block
If
Angel.
you're gonna Angel Block Angel. I think if you're gonna play around Sphinx's Revelation, you have to play around Sphinx's Revelation. The part of this I don't understand is if you're gonna Azorius Charm there, if you were committing to that play, this is where you have to think ahead.
Yeah, then you would have.
You should have pinged 2 spirits or drawn 2 cards.
Exactly.
Because now you're losing to Rev anyway.
So Azorius Charm from Alex.
Ooh, I don't like that play at all. Oh, he's gonna scour it off the top.
Okay,
Right.
yeah, he puts Rusty's Angel on top and then uses Thought Scour to get rid of it. Does connect for 2 with his spirits, and we currently
that
have.
great then.
Yeah, gets rid of that and draws a card. Rusty Thought Scours.
So it's 2 Supreme Verdicts is Majlaton's hand. He's got Rusty down to 6, but he's got a number. Basically, whichever player finds a Snapcaster Mage first here is really in good shape.
Trying to show you guys the graveyards there, but these guys have the cards so far off that it's hard to. Even the cameras can't reach them. Rusty's graveyard is so far off that the camera can't reach it.
So we can get Curse of Echoes. Rusty needs to find a way to answer a flyer. And make Curse of Echoes.
All right, so Rusty with Curse of Echoes and Dissipate backup.
Rusty, I think he's a little flustered here. He's not sure. I mean, he's dead right now to an end-step Moorland Haunt. Haunt a guy swing 6 is currently being threatened. I think you have to Augur first. Oh my.
Wow.
Does he have the land, or is that Curse of Echoes gonna get him?
Okay, so they're moving his graveyard closer in.
That Curse of Echoes may have just cost him the game.
Yeah, because if he needs a white source.
Okay, no,
he has a. Whew. Whoa, did he play a land? Did he pass? Did he already play a land? I missed it.
I think he just messed up. Yeah, that's gonna kill him. Wow,
If he
even found the card he needed.
And there it
Alex
is.
Majlaton wins 2 games to 0. A slight oversight there from Rusty Henry.
Yeah, I don't know if it was I don't know if he didn't play a land or he had already played a land.
Playing the Curse of Echoes.
Right. Well, it definitely threw him off there. Like, I don't know, because if he didn't play a land that turn, he had Hallowed Fountain in his hand, so he could have played it untapped, gone to